Hello guys! Good evening everyone! Who is excited for today? Tell me. I hope everything is alright, everything is fine. And my obvious question, do you hear me? Do you see me? Let's start with... Hello Grzegorz! Who do we have here? Guys, raise your hand. Say hi. All good today. I'm glad to hear that. Let me see what's going on TikTok. I can still, I hope you see this and I hope you have a great life. Well, thank you, Jimmy. No worries, you can rewatch it anytime on my YouTube in the live section. So everything will be stored there. Oh, I will need to... Let me make YouTube, sorry, TikTok chat smaller. And then we start right off the bat, like this, something like this. Okay. Hello, Patio. Finally Friday. Hey man, how are you? I'm great, buddy. And you? These Friday streams are my absolute favorites because this is like the start of the weekend and end of the work week, and I enjoy these most because I'm behind the computer, you know. Hello, Nick. Have you ever broken brush while painting? Not brush, but pieces of terrain, all the time. Hello, Kidbash Carnage. We good, we good. I hope everyone is good. Before we start, we will do a recap of what we already have when it comes to this nurgle mess we are creating. So, what? Okay. This is very weird notifier which TikTok just showed me. That it like basically hide my stream for 10 minutes because there are like bright visuals going on. What the fuck is even that? Anyway. So we will do the recap of what we created. And now slowly we are cooking our army. So we will rerun what we did. So here you can see our plague giant rotating. So this is what we have, right? This is what we're painting. We have it in digital. Hello Chickenator, good evening. Let's wait a couple minutes so more people join, and we will rock and roll. We are great, good evening. So we already have sculpted ready a lot of units actually, which I'm about to show you. Some of them I did off camera, and I'll show you the bat fly. Or you know what, it's not gonna be bat, because I didn't like the wings. I will show you in a second, so we're going back to name of leech fly. Hey, I'm thinking about buying a 3D printer. What do you recommend for beginner? Well, I mentioned a couple of times that I would recommend GK2 for everyone, because even though it's more expensive, it's in the upper echelons of the price range. However, it's very beginner friendly. And if you buy a cheaper printer, that may be like high amount of frustration which you will get from the start. And GK2, I can say it's almost plug and play. I will make a video like for beginners when it comes to printing and slicing and stuff like this, so hopefully people will be able to learn. Alright, so let's cook. So this is Plague Giant, right? You already know him. We will paint him. Now this is what I showed you last time. This is our general of the army. It's the fallen shaman from the former goblin, now raised as a herald of Nurgle and a general, and his name is Fungarak the Risen. And I will remind you the story I cooked. Meanwhile, you can like look of how he looks. And so basically, this goblin shaman was cut in half by Tumurkan and then later saved by Nurgle and re-raised as this giant mushroom mutant. So this thing down here is actually like this his magic, his vortex of nasty green fire on which he's floating on. So he's capable of flight. And then on the back he has this cauldron of spores, and his abilities, besides like a powerful magic, is like sewing the spores and ability to raise a giant nurgling mushrooms all over the battlefield and like infesting his enemies with mushrooms. Tadash saying, damn, this looks amazing. Well, thank you, brother. E-brush with pen. Hey, chicken, all good this evening. Good. So this is the leader. I will remind you a story in a couple of minutes. Let's look at another model we have. So, this is a basic infantry unit, or the basic unit in general. I call them crooklings. So this is Nurgle version of troll / goblin mutant. like with the mushrooms on him and stuff. So I redid the former design, like these little guys. I have 3 of them printed already. Didn't have the mushrooms, and I was thinking about it and going back and forth with design, and I found them infested with mushrooms more thematic for the army, so I went with this design. And he's a fun guy. Yeah, it's a real fun guy. It's true. It's true. So this is the Crookling number 1, and this version is with the spear with the flag. So I've changed a couple of things, so it has different variations. So as you can see, his green is different, and here he has 1 extra mushroom. So this is like a spearman. Shield is the same. For now, I need to come up with a couple more variations for the shield. So I'm thinking maybe I will do 1 round one, and for the bigger units, which will make, I would love to make these plate tower shields. That's gonna be also cool. Now this is the variant number 3. It's similar to number 1, but the green is different. And also later I will do combinations of these, so different weapons, different poses. Stream just started, and I can feel it's going to be a good one as always. Yeah, thank you, brother. I will make sure it is. Really sculpting nurgle terrain soon, very very soon. So this is the Crookling number 3. Then let's proceed into our Leech Bat template, which I will call Leech Fly from now on. And look what I've done. So I updated the design a little bit and like doubled his wing count. So now he has 4 wings, and I elongated them so now they somehow resemble fly wings. So 4 of them. Thank you very much for subscribe, brother. Elongated the bell from him, so this will be basically a connection to a base or terrain. Notice the wings are not connected to his body. That's because I didn't close them for the reason that we'll do different poses. So some of them will have like a different wings position. Also these bells, I will play with them a bit, so create more variations. Also the tongue, some of them will have a long tongue with hands, some of them will be shorter. And the riders will be crooklings, because this unit won't be that big. I'm thinking about oh, I forgot their base on my other studio. So let's imagine this is the base. It's basically the same size. It's 10mm, 100mm size. So they will be about this size probably. So size is okay. And now the fly will be maybe like this. So we'll fit at least 6 or 7 of them on a base. So yeah, and also the other hand will be holding a chain or some ring so the rider will not fall off. So he has to hold on to something. And I love the original rod fly design from Games Workshop, that they have these armor plates on the head, and it can serve as some kind of saddle. And I forgot to start recording. Fuck, always forget something. Anyway, sorry for this interruption. Now let's get back to our design talk. So yeah, that's basically it to this model so far. So I wanted to sculpt an armor, and believe it or not, sculpting armor is incredibly difficult. I still cannot describe why, but somehow creating these bent geometrical things, it's very difficult in Blender for some reason, especially armor. Sculpting armor is it's difficult, it's really hard. So we'll need to do something about it, right? But for now, this will do. This is not finished model, it's still like a VIP. The proskis with the hand on the end is creepy. Yeah, thank you. I remember. Chiro, hello brother. Bring us a smelly stuff with the name of the grandpa, the uncle. Will do. Will do. Okay, let's go to another unit which we have. This is the giant leech. We have. I called it Leech Lord for some reason, and this was supposed to be a mount for one of the leaders called Jestro. And notice I made him a cauldron in there, so this is gonna be a big model, right? As big as the whole building plate. So, but I will redo the design, so I do not quite like the cauldron anymore in the middle. And instead we're gonna plant a nurgle tree, which will sculpt today. And this is gonna be a special tree, which I will show you why. This is yeah. Okay, so this is a behemoth unit. Then you already know this one. We sculpted it 2 weeks ago. So this also be one of the like leaders. This is the troll leech, and it can have some kind of crew on his back. So it is more busy. Also, this is gonna be a large model. Right, and that's it. And now let's go back to the Corp Wizard and let us talk about another beautiful tree for Nurgle's garden. Yes. So let us talk about a lore. Or what is going on in this army, and what are we creating? So, some of you may or may not be familiar with Lord of Tamurkhan, right? So, in his quest, in his campaign on sieging the Nuln, he encountered a huge goblin army in the mountains, and it was not just goblins, it was trolls and basically good old greenskin hordes, but in tens of thousands. And this giant horde was led by a nameless shaman on a pale spider. Nameless or night goblin shaman on a pale spider. And they almost kicked Tamurkhan's butt, so this force was so overwhelming. And this is official lore, by the way, from down, like years ago before Total War, and they almost kicked his butt, right? But in the end fight, Tamurkhan managed to fight his way through and 1v1 this shaman on a spider and cut him in half, right? So our story begins by this shaman, name is Fungarak. I made up the name because it was nameless in the lore, which is a shame because it was a very powerful being. So he cut him in half, and this shaman was not quite dead. So he was begging for help to a bad moon, his deity of worship, and the bad moon or crooked moon turned a blind eye on him. So he forsaken him. But another voice starts speaking to his ears, and it was Papa Nurgle. So all he demanded was an absolute loyalty and pledge his loyalty, and then he's gonna save him. So that's what he did. He swore his allegiance to the Papa Nurgle, and then he raised him and gave him more magical power. So this is the new form he took, right, as this giant mushroom wizard. And then he was able to like reform his fallen army. So all the killed trolls, all the killed goblins rose again with their new form. So we'll be furthermore sculpting, not today, but on the upcoming streams, we're gonna be sculpting more like mutant trolls. So these trolls will be like infested with mushrooms, different phases, you know. And remember this Fungarak, this wizard, this goblin shaman, who was riding on top, is explicitly mentioned in the lore that he was riding on top of a huge pale spider. So guys, he was able, now in my lore, after all that, he was able to resurrect his pale spider, and we're gonna sculpt like a nurgle spider, but mixed with mushrooms. So I'm not, I haven't decided yet on the final design. So we have to cook something, but I have already something in my head, and it's gonna be awesome. So this will be the mount which Fungarag will ride into the battle, and I'm so excited to do so. And today we're gonna be sculpting more scenery for them. So let's go into Blender. Guys, tell me, oh sorry, I forgot to ask, like tell me what you think about this. Tell me if you like this lore. What are you saying? Hello Squeakburger, glad to see you. So much fun with these gribbly little guys, love it. Oh, thank you. Papa saving the day once again. Yeah, Gregor, straws are going to be nice. Thank you all. Hey, Papa Nurgles, damn right. No quality dioramas. Evening, hello brother. Firestorm. Ciao bratku. Hello brother. So, this is just, we barely scratched the surface of what this army will be capable of. Now, for today's trailer, I quickly sculpted this. This will be printable scenery. I actually have it here printed, but without this spike and nurgle bells. And tomorrow I will upload this on my Patreon, so you can already download it. But right now, let's just keep these two parts, move them here, and delete everything. And we're gonna be starting with sculpting special tree, and this tree will be a nurgle tree. Big nose, ugly teeth, looks like my old math teacher. Nice. Hope he or she was at least good. So let's start. We start with the ball as usual. Now this tree, no, we're gonna be sculpting more, not just a tree. Hopefully. So let's start by creating a basic shape of this. Let me just make this a bit smaller so it's not going out of bounds. Oh, by the way, I know I already fixed, remember on the last sculpting string what happened, that it somehow started to look like transparent, this model, for some reason. So it was just mode like this, through some weird shortcut I press on the keyboard, it like start this thing called X-ray mode, which I had no idea what is it. So I had to like make a new Blender instance, but it's all fixed for now. Let me just pull the lamp a bit because it's shining right through my eyes. Anyway, let's start by making basic shape. I just have this image in my head. We are cooking right, like basically from nothing, no reference, no anything. But as it's for Nurgle, it has to be something really nasty. So Nurgle asked, we're gonna deliver. Ain't that right, guys? So let's subdivide it so it's more smooth and more polygons in place. We're gonna be playing with it a bit. So it's gonna be first variant of the tree. And now I'm thinking if we will give him a roots, because the thing with roots is that once it's printed, it not may match to the base. So I think I'm gonna further support it with the rock later on. So let's give it nice nasty trunk and immediately that was too strong. Still creating the basic shapes. Now, I know what you may be thinking, that this has nothing to do with tree yet, and you're absolutely right, but have faith, brothers. So let's make it more sturdy on the bottom, something like this, and twist it furthermore on the side, something like this, so the tree is like gnarly and twisted. And let's start making branches. You must have lied. I thought you did all with the tablet and not the mouse. Isn't it hard for details? Like what? Sculpting with mouse? I'm kind of used to it. I'm eyeing for a nice tablet, but I don't know which one yet. I definitely excluded the iPad because iPad does not support Blender, and I have absolute zero motivation to learn another sculpting tool. Blender was hard enough, let alone me learning another one. For the record, I also tried ZBrush, and ZBrush it's way harder in my opinion than Blender. And they are so different. These two tools are so different. So I gave it a few tries and then I forsake it because at this point I have many brushes already made and purchased in Blender, and if I like want to go with ZBrush, I will need to like purchase specific ones for ZBrush, or make them like compatible, or like import them to ZBrush one by one, and I really have no desire to do it with 900 brushes one by one. So anyway, I'll stick with Blender. Never say never. I'm not saying I will never switch to ZBrush, but not now. And ZBrush is expensive as hell. It costs a lot of money. It's like $50 a month. Blender is free. So you pay $50 a month and you have just a tool. So if you want brushes, that's another couple hundreds of dollars. Hello there, hello Balint, hello brother. Finger tree, exactly. You guessed it, Kidbash. Oh, you're right. I'm thinking that at the tip of the branches will be fingers. With my limited use of both programs, I would say that ZBrush is hard to learn and Blender is just complicated. ZBrush, I agree with you that it's hard to learn because I was like playing with it, and Blender is complicated. However, if you want to just sculpt miniatures, as I mentioned, you will just need to learn the basic functions, how to operate these few brushes, and you don't need to know all these like scripts and for animations and for texturing. Luckily, you don't need to know. I don't know it. I'm learning animating, so rigging and stuff. But yeah, it's hard. And this is just something I do for fun. I don't see yet the usage of it. Actually, my idea is to this is just a plan for far future. So, as you know, I'm scanning my miniatures. So whatever I paint and print and paint, I'm scanning it and importing to computer. And just to show you what I am talking about. Look. This was piece I hand sculpted or handmade and scanned it to computer, so it's completely 3D scanned from every angle. It can be used digitally for other projects, right? So my idea is to grab these models, my sculpts, then with already texture on them that I painted, and my plan is to learn how to animate them. So, for example, let me check, let me show you these Necrons, right? So these are the Necrons I'm like painting. And this scan, if you look, it's perfect for the tabletop simulator. So you can like import it to the tabletop simulator and play with whatever you painted. Now imagine if you, now obviously this one is too complicated to animate it, right? Because it's in one piece. But some of the models which have like really visible hands, for example, like movable hands, you can rig them and animate them. So my plan in the future is to learn it properly and then animate my models into digital space, right? Anyway, let's get back to sculpting. The potential is great, and the scanning technology is still in its infancy, and in the upcoming years we'll see more and more. And this is also something which I'm really happy about, and it's blowing my mind, that you can basically archive forever your paint jobs, because whatever is physical, it will wither away. The nasty father of entropy will get it at some point. Whether it be 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, the paint will fade and the model will wither. However, if you scan it, it will last forever. And that's something which I'm really happy and curious about. Well, these branches are too thin. Let me grab one here and one here. Okay. Gotta go, Chow, have a great stream. Well, glad you were here, brother. And don't forget to rewatch it. We're mentioning that Blender is used for 3D animation, so it probably has a bunch of features that just aren't useful in making 3D print. Yeah, definitely. That's what I said. So for sculpting, you just need to know basic stuff. And then it's just practice, practice, practice. Currently moving house, but the new studio is going to have a 3D printer. I look forward to painting those throne walls. Well, I'll be happy if you paint them and print them. It always makes me happy when people like paint my models. It somehow then makes sense that whatever I do has a meaning, and it fills me with immense pride and happiness. It's me building a legacy, and I love it. So these branches will have this nasty finger on the, in the tip, and I shall not make manually every finger. So let's do just one with some sharp tip, right? And then we're gonna replicate it. And also, I'm thinking here will be some mouths and some nurgle openings. Well, what's going on? Can you tell me the entire story of the Warhammer universe? It's just a joke. Any recommendation where to start if I want to dive into universe? You mean 40k or fantasy? If it's fantasy, then start with Gotrek and Philic books. And if it's 40k, well, that's a tough one. I cannot recommend you where to start, but I can tell you what was my first book, what I read from 40k Universe, and it was Storm of Iron from Graham McNeil. And that was kind of nice introduction. But I heard that if you start reading Horus Heresy, you will not spoil anything. That it's a good introduction, at least what I heard. I started to reread Demon Slayer from the Gotrek and Felix because this is my absolute favorite, and I still haven't quite get my hands on the Nagash book, which I wanted to start. So as a filler, I'm rereading this for like a third or fourth time already, and these books are so good. Flock is barking. Do you hear? Do you hear the dog bark? Where's that? This is 40 curses for you. That is not space racing. Yeah, it's 40k is like a pure misery, and that's why I love it. Like there is no good side. There is only like misery and war. This is a morbid fascination which I believe we all have to this lovely universe. But there are no good guys there. Except Nurgle. Guys, do you think that there are actually good guys in 40k? If yes, let me know. Okay. So now, so you are not staring at this ugly abomination. Let's give it some nice. Oh, I don't have the orb brush here. Give me a second. Where it is? Here, Blender Foundation. What I'm doing now, I'm importing these brushes because I was supposed to orb rock noise. This one was supposed to it. So basically I'm importing brushes from a different file, and this is the brush which I want. And I'm just instantly giving this tree this rough texture, so it's like more pleasant to look at from the professional perspective. And then we can proceed with furthermore texturing. I'm just quickly bashing it with this brush. Yes. I think these roots need a little bit more attention. Does roots go like this? No. Yeah, then there'll be a rock underneath like this tree, so these roots does not require to go deep. So at least some like different variations like this. No, it's too thin. That was too thin. No. Maybe some branching here and on the other side as well. Now that's better. That's too thin. one from maybe here, and this is the big one. Wait, what did it just say? Sorry, I'm behind. Well, like different user, old world, Age of Sigmar 40k greatly summarized it. You can, oh, that means a lot of things to check. Yeah, you have, and this is a good thing about it, that it's a great way how to go. You have no rush, right? So whatever you feel like, this universe, both of universes are great, and each book you will read is a treasure. For real, I think Khorne is the best to live for. Just fight and no bullshit. Well, I low-key think that Khorne's agenda is the best. Let me explain. You know, in 40k, there is well known and well established that there exists an afterlife, right? So, souls exist, and if you're killed, your soul travels to the warp, right? And you have decent chance of a nice afterlife. If your soul didn't get snatched by Slanesh, of course. So if you get killed by Khorne, you are basically put out of the misery, because 40k, it's grimdark. That means that there is no joy for a member of Imperium. So Khorne are low-key good guys. Yes, they are. They're basically helping people. And apart the bloodletters, I think they are not even stealing souls. I need to get checked on this one. But Khorne, as far as I know, is just interested in decorating his throne with your skull. He doesn't give a shit about your soul. So that makes him a low-key good guy. If you're someone that love to read, I suggest Horus Heresy book, probably the best advice. Yeah, I heard. Thank you very much for subscribe. I heard that Horus Heresy is like a good introduction to the 40k universe. Okay. Back to our texturing. So let's give it nice rough texture. So all what I'm doing now is for the sake of dry brushing later once it's printed. So it has not these smooth surfaces. Well, greatest, thank you very much for your gifts. I see that on TikTok it's live too. Apparently they unrestricted me, because at the beginning of the stream I get like a restriction for 10 minutes because of flashy images I was like showing. Probably that nurgle giant was too ugly. So they had to restrict me, right? Let us look for some references. Okay, I just quickly search what is a nurgle 3, and so far so good. So we are on point. Alright, this texture might be for now enough. Now let's fetch ourselves a wood texture. And let's give it like this appearance, this look of a tree. No, not now. I forgot to do one thing. Let's fetch ourselves the bumps brush. Now this is something which we needed to do. So we create like more variations of the branches, so they are gnarly and twisted, you know. me just save it. Oh, I forgot to save it, guys. Good tip, always save in Blender, like every few minutes, at least every 5 minutes. Don't forget. Even though it has nice backup control when it's crashed, which is way better than ZBrush, by the way. But it's always good to save it just for sake. Because you cannot rely on the machine when it comes to these things. I could not count on one hand how many times machine betrayed me when it comes to corrupted footage, corrupted SD card, corrupted hard drive. I'm sure you all know it, guys. Deno Žužo, DNV Power, pekný večer, bro. Čau, bratku, pekný večer aj tebe. Why Gym Bros are here. Honestly, Orcs is the real good guys of 40k. Well, they are happy guys. I don't know about good. Well, good is a concept. Good and bad, evil and good is just a concept, right? So Orcs are just doing what their biological purpose is. They were bioengineered to be these weapons of war. So this is all they know. They're not cruel. They're just doing what they were made to, and they are kind of good at it. And I absolutely love like orky stuff, that they're literally willing things to happen. And that's amazing. So is the tree gnarly enough? I would say almost. Almost. Okay, now let's do the wood texture, right? Please. No, it's too far. No, this is too powerful. Just need something smaller, something like this, with the power of 100. With the power of 100, it's gonna be alright. So this is a still tree, right? Even though it's gonna be a nurgle tree, it needs to have these wooden striations. Let me just make it, that's too much. About 200 should be enough. No, it's too much. And we'll probably need to increase polygon count on the upper echelons of the tree. Oh, what have I done? Because the texture is not detailed enough, as you can see. Down here it's nice, it's tolerable, but here no. Oh. This lamp is too bright. Let me try to turn it off. Hope guys you don't mind like this. No, it's bad. Like no joke, next time I will bring sunglasses. I mean guys, if you want a good lamp for your tabletop stuff, the NeafT, which I have, is the best choice, like no doubt. It's the most powerful lamp I ever had. It's so good. It's so good, I love it. Okay, now we need to increase the polygon count. So let's go into Orb Brush again. And this is a neat trick. So you can basically kill two things at once. So you turn on the subdivision surface, dynamic topology on the upper part of Blender, and you are A, increase, like, further texturing the model, and B, you are increasing polygon size by having turn on dynamic topology. This is a thing which ZBrush has automatically turned on, I believe. And it's said that nobody is talking enough of it, that in Blender you absolutely need to learn this function and need to use it. Because this is basically automatically, by doing these brush strokes, is increasing the polygons. So what I'm talking about, you see this branch has not many polygons right now on it, but now when I turn on the brush for power of 360, for example, I'm applying the texture, and right now there are more polygons, so now it's gonna be further more detailed. And this is important. Okay, what is the chat saying? Sorry, I forgot myself. Look forward to angry Ron to show with the Gazgul for killing his rival. Yes, I mean, that's gonna be an epic duel, but the problem with the Angron is that he can't die. So even if Gaz will, for some reason, ascend into Primorg and kill Angron, Angron is always back in 8 weeks, 8 days and 8 hours. It's 888 magic corn number. That is actually the number of all the bloodthirsters Korn have. So 8 is Korn's magical number. By the way, I love 8 as well. It's my lucky number since I was a kid. And is it a coincidence that Korn love it too? So Angron is always back in very short time. 8 weeks, 8 days and 8 hours is a short time. So even if you kill him, he will be back in Angrier. But what can happen, this is like my suggestion for the story, is, hear me out. So there's a duel, there's this major showdown between Gaz and Angron, and Gaz managed to defeat Angron and kill him before his ascension. And by killing him, he evolves into Primorg, then travels to Warp and kill Angron there. And if you kill a demon in Warp, you are basically able to destroy his essence forever. So this is the only chance how anyone can kill such a powerful being as an Angron. And honestly, that would be fun. I think they can do it. What do you think, guys? Is the finger or the tree is pretty happy with your work? I don't know yet. We are not done. I want to see an animation where Angron is awaiting Orc's arrival and then slam. Yeah. Exactly. And he's already lying under the ship hull. It's selectively adds polygons to where you use the brush, correct? Yeah, exactly. And this is important because you're starting always with a low polygon model such as cube, and you can either subdivide it whole, which is not necessary, or do it via this brush. And it's good to combine it. So have a strong texture brush, as I have this orb. What is it? It's supposed to be a rocky texture, but it doesn't look like. I'm using it for a skin tone, for the skin texture. And I am like subdividing the polygons there locally. I don't see Gaz winning this one for now, sadly. Yeah, Angron is too powerful. That's the thing, that he is very, very strong. He's very strong. And you know, people are hyping this showdown that like Angron is afraid of Gazgul. I think Angron does not give a fuck about Gazgul. He doesn't even know who he is. He killed so many things during his like very long lifetime, because once Angron ascended and he went to Warp, basically time stopped flying, stopped passing through him. That means that in Warp he was able to travel to the past, present and future, because demons are omnipresent. That means that they are able to enter different timelines and go there. For example, Khorne's lapdog, Karanak, mighty Karanak, three-headed dog. He has these 3 heads, and each of the heads are able to track its prey, and one of the heads is able to track prey throughout the time. So he can go back into the past and go further in the future. So basically he just have a sniff of his prey, identifies it, then opens the portal and runs to the timeline. So that means, my point is that Angron may have experience from literally like tens of thousands of years worth of fighting in the Warp, because he was present in many battles throughout the time. And I kind of like how the time concept is in 40k, that in Warp there is no time, and that means that the demons, like all these battles could happen, like they could be present in every single battle throughout the time history. Now, of course it has these holes, right? Such as where were demons during the Golden Age? Like, for example, they were not supposed to exist there. But since there is no time, they were present. So the question is why they did not interfere back then. Now the theory is maybe that they were afraid of the humanity because we had such a developed technology that we were like absolute undisputed rulers of galaxy, to a point that we like almost eradicated all orcs. Like the technology during the Golden Age was so advanced that orcs literally did not want to fight with us. And that is something to tell. If orcs doesn't like fighting, that means that they basically stood no chance. Where were chaos then? If I recall correctly, now I will gladly be fact-checked on this. There were no chaos, right? Or during the Golden Age. Man. No, Angron should not die. How are you gonna play tabletop? He cannot. I mean, that's my point. That he cannot die. It would be like way too silly for them to let it be killed by gas. I mean, only possible way how I see it is, as I mentioned, that gas will somehow kill him in the warp. But I highly doubt that the Khorne would actually allow it. I'm still waiting for some kind of lore where Khorne will corrupt some orcs. For example, this Taska Demon Killer, the guy which Khorne keeps as his Pokemon. So every day he respawns and besieging the Brass Citadel. That's also lore. Guys, if you are up for some fun lore talk, go and read about Taska Demon Killer. It's the mighty orc war boss, which is legendary for his ability to kill demons, for hunting and killing demons. So his campaign led him, or should I say end him, right in front of Khorne's Brass Citadel. And Khorne's Loki loves him so much that every day, once he and his army is dead, he respawns them and allow them to siege the citadel next day. And Taska, Demon Killer, is having time of his life. I absolutely love it. Dude is keeping the orcs like Pokemon. I think Khorne would be pretty happy either way. Either Angron comes out on top, starts whispering in Gaz's ear. Hey, let's go, I found a mating. Hello, not disputed. Glad you're here. I wouldn't be surprised if the other gods cooked up a way to monkey paw Khorne's power over Angron, because they'd like to stab each other in the back. Yeah, that's true. But Angron, thing is, Angron is not a bloodthirster, right? So he is just a demon prince, as far as I know. Am I correct? So he ascended from the Primarch, he ascended to a demon prince. Now, demon prince is not the same rank as a bloodthirster. Basically, bloodthirsters are these greater demons of Khorne. They are his personal best warriors, and he has 888 of them. And I don't know if that's true, but I think that many of the... Because he has 888 bloodthirsters and 88 exalted or greater bloodthirsters. Those are like the creme de la creme of all Khorne's fighting force. So, for example, I don't think the Angron is as powerful as any of those 88 exalted bloodthirsters. Am I right? I think Gaz would beat Angron. Angron would be forced to retreat to the warp. Gaz will start chasing Angron in all the galaxies because Angron is the closest thing to a world opponent for Gaz. It's true, but if they want to like stick with the lore, 1v1 Angron versus Gaz, I think Gaz would lose big time. But maybe they will come up something. So the only way is him chasing him to warp and killing him there, which is doable for orcs because they can enter the warps. That, well, they literally can wish like a warp portal to happen. So let's see what's gonna happen. We are rambling, and our tree is beginning to look like a regular tree. Now, very soon we'll start nurglifying it. This is just a tree for now. For now. Maybe I did too many branches. Okay, anyway. Let's sculpt one finger, and we will then copy paste that finger throughout all this piece. Just saying. Our French expression, what a wonderful day. Yeah, I think you're right. Angron is just an angry Primarch. Plus, isn't Angron just a phantom at this point? Like, yeah, Angron is like, as Kugat will call him, a dim-witted butcher. He is a mindless, literally mindless being, because in the twisted irony of fate, in his ascension, they did not remove the butcher's nails. So it's like these nails are still nagging to his mind, like to a point of he was literally insane before the ascension. So now he has to be like complete batshit crazy, like literally dim-witted. He's like, I hardly doubt that he's capable of like thinking, which cannot be said for any other bloodthirsters, because bloodthirsters are very intelligent. Even though they like to like succumb to their rage in the glory of Khorne, they are very, very potent tacticians. And if the bloodthirster is deployed, it requires a very important battle. I'm really looking forward for reading again, like Demon Slayer. I started 2 days ago, and I have like eaten only a couple of pages. Right now I'm at that passage when they arrive into this abandoned tower where the dwarves meet and the Skaven are about to attack them. And I absolutely love the end fight in that book, like where they're fighting these... it's basically nameless bloodthirster. And then there in that book is very well portrayed the potential of bloodthirster's power. It's just quote-unquote regular bloodthirster, right? But there is like very vividly and detailed explained how powerful is one single bloodthirster. Just basic bloodthirster almost wiped out all the dwarves. I think the Dead Guard in 40k are so sad, honestly. The Primarch Mortarion just wanted their pain to end. Yeah, and they were betrayed by... What's the name of that guy? The Nurgle, which like bestowed nasty plague on them. Like it was during the heresy, I believe, or slightly before the end of heresy, where they like were not like embraced by Nurgle fully. It was... Please remind me. So this one guy like bestowed the plague on them, which made their bodies to transform into this what we know Dead Guard today. I said maybe Magnus. Is there any demon prints that are not might broken? Well, Magnus is... well... yeah, you're right. Magnus is kinda sane in its own way, I would say. And Perturabo is very intelligent and sane. I still refuse to believe that he ascended, even though it's like official lore. I still think that he just built a better armor to sustain himself after the Fulgrim's more like a grave wound. But no, yeah, it's official, like he ascended. But he has some passages, especially one where he was battling Mortarion in his like a demon form. And he's probably the sanest of them all, because he's still a very potent tactician, and he's still master of defense and building like fortifications. I don't know, fuck this. Let me just cheat a bit. I'm not in a mood of sculpting fingers. Not in a mood, but let's cut some corners. Where are you, leech fly? Let us just fetch one finger from here. What is wrong with this? So we have this hand which we use on our leech fly, and we're gonna enlarge it and grab one finger. Pick one. Which one to pick? I'll let you choose. The rest of them will be gone. Yeah, that's the thing, that he ascended. Officially, lore-wise, he ascended. He delivered the gene seed, and this was as a gift to gods, and he ascended as a demon prince of chaos undivided. And it was... But who am I to talk? But I think it's very poorly written. And it would be nice if it would be later explained that he never ascended, because that would make sense, because Iron Warriors reject any mutations, and he just built himself a better armor. But no, officially he ascended, right? He would die. He would die if if the chaos would not intervene, because he was gravely wounded by Fulgrim, the biggest degenerate of them all. Traitor. See, I mean, it's always fascinating to talk about nerdy stuff, especially 40k and fantasy. I want more. I literally want more. I want like freaking weekly updates on Warhammer Plus. Like, make shorts, make animation, make movies. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what the fuck are you waiting for? Even people give you enough money. Like, bring it on! I want 40k cinematography forced down my throat as much as possible. Alright, we have one finger. I think the third finger. Was this the third one? Someone will drop maybe in time enjoying the stream. Hey! Hello, Matej. Ciao, Matej. Oh, thank you. There is a lot of lore to like uncover in 40k. It's literally like, don't catch me on my words, but I may be like really exaggerating, but they are like officially, I heard. Let me just Google check it before I talk out of my ass. How many 40k books are there? Alright, so I was almost correct. There are 462 Warhammer 40k books. 462. Can you imagine reading them all? I really appreciate all the lore masters which are like on YouTube and know it all and research it all, such as Lutin, Valrak and Weishammer. These guys are the treasure. I am basically eating lore from them. But when it comes to lore, I am more, I know more, way more from fantasy. So I'm nowhere near level of lore master, but I've read more books from fantasy than from 40k. Fantasy is something which is more digestible, I think, when it comes to lore. It's more coherent, I would say. Right now, you know what I'm like listening to and watching, as I'm like doing my sculpting or painting sessions off camera. I am going through all the Total War 3 cinematic trailers. These are amazing. These guys, I said it already like 365 times at least. These guys made absolute amazing job. Total War 3, even though I've never played it, I'm just here for the imagery, or how to say, for the cinematography and for the lore. Do you like end times, guys? I will switch to fantasy for a bit. But who here, raise your hands, is aware of the lore of the end times? Who knows it? Tell me, guys. Yeah, I think 40k is suffering from serious blow when a planet gets destroyed. Feels like nothing. Yeah, that's true. That they can just literally blow out planet. Well, hell, planet. You know, Necrons have this facility where they're capable of eradicating sun, solar system, or a planet with just one click of a button. That it's a lore. You can like check it out. However, they're not doing it, and it has its own guardians because they're aware of consequences and blah blah blah. But just the fact that they are in power of such facility, just it's not even like destroying; they are deleting it from existence, and this is official lore. So yeah, now say about overpowered. Okay, back to my end time questions. You don't know much about end times. Okay, I will just tell you what I think is absolutely hilarious. I hate the fact that the old world had ended. It's sad that they let it die and rebirth it into Age of Sigmar. Now, I don't hate Age of Sigmar, I'm just saying the old world is better. What is absolutely hilarious that besides the sad fact that they killed almost every single hero which you loved, so imagine reading about these awesome heroes in the books, and then suddenly you read page after page how each of them died a horrible, insignificant death. One thing strikes me particularly funny is that Karl Franz, mighty emperor of empire, like incarnation of Sigmar, in its last stand, were dueling the God King, and he was losing. So you know what happened? Like mighty Sigmar flew into him, gave him his power. His mighty god Sigmar gave him all he got as a god, very powerful god according to lore. So he like bestowed all his power. He went inside him. Okay, Karl Franz won and killed the Glotkin, and that's it. And it means absolutely nothing because everyone lost. But you know what strikes me really funny is that fucking Skaven, the horned rat, which is like an insignificant little lesser god, right? So Karl Franz failed to save the empire. He could probably save some cities, save the civilians and stuff. No, not all he did was just gave Karl Franz power just to defeat. It was Glotkin were not even a greater demon. They were not even demon. They didn't ascend it. They were just 3 mutants, literally 3 mutants. So this is all what mighty Karl Franz did. However, you know what great horned rat did? It fucking saved all Skavenblight. Skavenblight is this nasty rat-infested Skaven city. So small, insignificant god just had enough power to save all Skaven city, and Skavenblight survived. Who the hell wrote this? Tell me. It's so funny. So Skaven, stupid Skaven, which like are most like backstabbing race ever, like most honorless and like how to say it, is like backstabbing race, were saved by the god. Not a single other Chaos God did this for their followers, but Horned Rat did that for Skaven. Isn't that hilarious? Sigmar lie, yeah, that's true. They don't give a shit about these people, and that is beautiful. But yeah, it does not give a shit. Like how he gave a shit, yeah, because he saved the whole city. But he saved the whole city. This isn't it hilarious that like the all gods of order, even the dwarf gods, like take Grungi and others, like all the dwarf gods, Valaya, they did absolute jack shit for the dwarfs. Nothing. Nothing. And one fucking rat saved whole city. So this speaks about, this has 2 options. A, Horned Rat is really powerful and care for his worshippers, or B, it's terribly written lore. Made your choice. There is a 4.5, almost 5 hour long video, I already mentioned it last time, about like summary of end times. It's very good, please check it out. I forgot the name of that guy. That is a quite big lore tuber. It's like, I'm guessing there's more of them, because they're not making lore from Warhammer, but from other universes too. It's Knights and Wizards or something like that. Let me just quickly check, because I want to give them shout out. And lore. It's Wizards and Warriors. Wizards and Warriors is the name of the channel. Please guys check it out, or turn it on while you paint, and at least know the lore of the end times, and cry or laugh. You know what's sad? Also, like what broke my heart, literally, like the end of Skarsnik. You know the lore of Skarsnik and Gobla, this mighty knight goblin chieftain, which has this huge pet squig. So this squig named Gobla, he saved him when he was a little runt from literally from a scorpion. So they bonded together since like their childhood, and Gobla was like his loyal dog, a pet. So they have, goblins are not much capable of love or loyalty. However, this was a different case. Skarsnik was kind of intelligent, and he made bond with Gobla, and in end times they absolutely butchered him. Like Gobla ate one beastman warlord, and he tore him open from inside, so he climbed out. And then Gobla died, and Skarsnik was so heartbroken that he left the battle. And it was just sad. He was just sad. He didn't even die, he just left. But in Age of Sigmar, he have this little cameo in the Gloomspite Gids book that there is like said that in the Bad Moon, this deity of worship of the Night Goblins, or the Gloomspite Gids as they are now called, it's like these unpredictable planetoid objects in the sky, right? And whenever it showed up, the weird thing starts to happen. And it's written there that there is one smaller planetoid object orbiting around the Bad Moon, and it is said that it's a spirit of the former mighty goblin warchief, the best that ever lived, and that is Skarsnik. So at least he has something. Alright, look at the tree. Look at the tree. Good. I like where this is going. Let me just take a quick break. Maybe turn the light to the different... yeah, I will turn it more warm so it's more like more pleasant for the eyes. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna wound the tree. So first I'll just merge it with these fingers. So all these branches are like well connected. The tree is looking good. Thank you, brother. I'm planning to print it, and like if we are lucky I will manage to do it till the Monday stream, but the worst case scenario we'll paint it on Wednesday, so it's gonna be the third huge scenic diorama. And we need to think of what model will be this base for. I'm thinking more road flies, or we just make a scatter terrain from it. Not road fly, sorry, leech fly. Or we just make a scatter terrain. That's also just for the collection, just for the thrill of it. Like having like fingers from trees is so nurgly. Okay, no, let's change the plan for a bit. Let's start connecting these fingers and then we're gonna fix them. So allow me to save it. Good thing you didn't make more branches, it would have been too much. Yes, in my opinion, I've already created too many branches. However, it is what it is. Now I'm gonna slowly merging these fingers, so hopefully my computer won't crash, because apparently merging two high polygon geosets is tough for Blender to digest. And change of plans again. This will take way longer, so I will not merge them on stream. I'll instead go back to my former plan and like sculpt them together, and I will merge them once tomorrow morning probably, so I will not bore you by the long waiting times. Instead we're gonna be doing something funny. I've read almost listening to around 150. It took me 24 years. I'll be on return when I will read all 40 of them. You listened to 150 40k books? Well, sir, I tip my imaginary head down for you. Holy fucking shit. 150 books. Question is, how many of those, not just these 150, but out of these 400 official ones, how many of them are good? Because I imagine that good portion of them will be bad. Am I right? Because write a good book is an art, and there are far more bad authors than the good ones. By the way, guys, do you like Warcraft universe? Because if not, you might consider giving a chance, because those books are also very, very good. I can recommend you a book called Arthas. I'm sure you all know a story about this fallen Lord and Prince called Arthas Menethil. It's basically like the main protagonist, one of the main protagonists in the Warcraft 3 franchises, and he's the Lich King. So I'm sure you know Lich King from World of Warcraft. And this book was written by Christie Golding, which is, for the record, in my opinion, one of the best fantasy author. Very, very clever woman. And she's amazing author. So if you like fantasy stuff, for sure, I would give it a try. Okay, we have something like this. Let's save it, and now let's start decorating it with the nurgly stuff. That's what we are here for, right? I love the progress, man. It looks amazing. Oh, thank you very much, brother. Hello, my friend. How's the Necrons coming along? Hello, Grim Reaper. They are coming along slowly, but surely we continue next week with building, and then we finally start painting. Guys, on my early day streams from my other studio, I call them improvised streams, and a whole week I was building Necrons. So nurgle 3. Can't say it was fun. I was literally surviving it thanks to my awesome viewers who were keeping me company on these streams. And I was bitching a lot because those pieces are fiddly as hell. Hello, cheers for Mexico. Hello, Luis. Glad you're here, brother. 64 in total for Horus Heresy to be... What? 64 books for just from Horus Heresy? Will you put some bowels on those branches? What is a bowel? Let me Google explanation of it. Bowel. What is bowel? Definition. I'm not native speaker, as you may know. The part of the alimentary canal below the stomach. The intestine. Oh yeah! Yeah, something like that. You almost guessed it. Let's call it something. Let's fetch my crack brush. This is a good brush for making these nasty openings, such as this one, for example. Let me show you what these do. One is here, maybe one could be here. No, it's too similar. Something like this. One can be here. One can be here. One can be here. One definitely can be here. And these will be like the openings for the boils and nasty stuff. One here. One can be right here. One will be here. Okay, that's enough for now. Now let's smooth it out and further enhance it with our subdivision tool. Smooth it and enhance it. Ooh, I'm far behind the chat. To be fair, you don't need to read all of the Horus Heresy books, maybe just the first 5 of the proper introduction, then just pick a legion you like and read those. Good point. Yeah, good, brother. I'm about to start modeling these days. Well, go for it, brother. I just need to wait for brushes. I need you. You mean sculpting in Blender or like a physical model? And you order brushes. I have this awesome local site from Slovakia where I'm like, this is art shop where I'm ordering kind of cheap but very good Kolinsky brushes. So one brush cost me like 4 or 5 euro, and these are really high quality brushes. I highly recommend you. I will share the link with you. Maybe they are shipping at least to Europe. But those brushes will, if you take care of them, they will last you a really, really long time. Kolinsky brushes are good investment when you paint miniatures, definitely, because they hold their shape pretty well and they're amazing for the details. And not just details, they're amazing for basically everything. I have few of them here. For example, this is like size O, like a 0. It's a Lineo. Lineo is the brand. Highly recommend. / I'm not sponsored by them. I recommend it from my own will. Here's another one. This is my favorite song from the playlist. Okay, here's another one. Now you might be asking, what the hell is he doing? And that's a very good question. I'm smoothing these openings for a boils which we will sculpt in a few moments. Let me just rub my tired eyes. Okay, I think we target all of them. Anyway, so let's turn off the dynamic topology. Because I had Prussian hussars, a French soldiers from the full model of a World War II guy. I'm modeling something Italian, marsupial, and I have to wait for the small brushes because I want to do, yeah. Then I want to do a scenery where Roman legions fight Gauls. This is a good part of history. I really love that part where what was the name of the German forest where there was this mighty battle where Vercingetorix defeated one of Roman legions. It was kind of epic when you consider it, like these savages, which were Gauls, like defeated like well-disciplined Roman legion, and it definitely deserves a respect. Now, of course, later on, Romans won because they were like the most well-trained army in their times, maybe throughout all the history, when it comes to discipline and the fighting prowess. And I think Vercingetorix was later caught and brought in chains to Rome, and he served as a like jester for the Roman Emperor. Am I correct? Please check me on this one. As you can see, Blender starts lagging already, and this has nothing to do with computer. I have really good computer, it's a new machine, but this is the limitation, or literal limitations of the tool. So this is where ZBrush is better, because he can handle high polygon models better. Now I'm fetching for a proper brush. No, I want to get the brush for boils. No. So this is the problem. Well, this is the obstacle when you're having so many brushes, like 900 in my case, more than 900, so you need to literally fish every time for a proper brush. Holy crap. No! Where are you? I used to take notes for the brushes, like which one were good or not. Yeah, this one. Finally, we found it. Now, let's check what type of boils suits this tree better. So I would say these ones, because these will be like these pores in the openings of the tree. So something like this. Look like big scarred ones, lovely. Yeah, thank you. And I don't want to ask my parents for 3D print as of now. Well, try it. It's the best gift. The best gift. I would definitely buy my kids a 3D printer. I'm looking forward for the day where my daughter is very artistic, so she inherited that after me, which is good. She's going to her art classes and she's all into creating stuff, and she like took interest in what I do. So, but she's just 7-year-old, so digital sculpting might be too complicated for now for her, but I'm looking for a day when I will start teaching her, because she finds it really interesting that I have like this machine which can print you literally anything you make. And for every birthday my kids have, I sculpt, for example, Pokemons. So I sculpt different Pokemon and then print them and paint them, so they're pretty happy about it. And who is the coolest dad out there in the school? It's me. You know why? Because whenever my daughter's classmates have a birthday party, as a gift I always like sculpt something, especially like usually the Pokemon, paint it, and then my daughter will go there with like a pro painted Pokemon, and the kids absolutely love it. How you could make a cut on the side to look somebody tried to cut it. Yeah, that's a good idea. I would make wounds in the end. Let us sketch the boils first. Ah, we forgot this part. My eyes are too tired right now to see it properly, but I think we got them all. Got them openings. And one was down here. Okay, we got these. Okay, now let's start making these upper boils. So these boils will be right on the tree. So this is like a sickness. Like this, right? I start doing modelism at the 7 too, but with toothpicks. Well, it's great. I wowed myself that, and luckily my wife is like together agree with me on this one, that we will basically not force our kids to, like, you know how, I don't know how about you, but my parents were like all about like have a good grades. And for example on the gymnasium where I was attending, I was always like having like straight A's, or in Europe we are marked by numbers, so ones is the best marks and it absolutely means jack shit in life. So me and my wife agreed that we will not force our kids to like be good at school, but instead we will like hone their skills or like support them in whatever they like. So my daughter tell me in 15 she want to be an artist, and I will see that she's really trying and doing what her love. I will definitely support her in it. So at least this is the generation shift I'm more than happy to do. Because everyone deserves to do what they are best at and what they love. Like, nobody should be forced on doing anything. And this is actually something which I believe is 100% true, that everyone in this world who was born and who is alive have his purpose. So there is something which is made for everyone. So everyone should find their passion and to pursue it. Anyway, I'm rambling. Where I'm. Is there any big one? I like look suppurating. What does suppurating mean? Suppurating meaning Gerund or present super undergo formation. Aha! That's a nice word. Well, I learned something new. Suppurate means undergo the formation of pus. Nice. Well, I think these boils will create enough pus, so they made Papa Nurgle proud. How much? That's a good parenting approach. Well, thank you, Patio. I have my flaws as a parent, so I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm far from it, but at least I'm trying to be fair when it comes to my kids, and I'm trying to, like, me and my wife try to always, like, think about everything what we do when it comes to parenting. For example, we are limiting kids' screen time, so my kids are not watching TV that much. They have allowed only like 1 hour screen time a day in the evening when they have their chores done, because I am also into psychology. This is stuff I like to read, and the worst thing what literature said is that you are like giving kids screen time, like a lot of screen time, because now it's this dangerous age where the kids have basically every tool to satisfy their impulsive needs. So the difference between our generation and them is that whenever I was young, and for example, I love Pokemon, right? I was like really into Pokemon as a child, and I never grew out of it. I love Pokemon till to this day. So for example, when we're this Pokemon hype, if we wanted to watch the series, we have to sit before TV and wait for it to pop, right? So I remember it was airing on our local channel every day at 7, so it was right before the news. So we were sitting half an hour before and just waiting. Now what the kids are able to do, they just turn on the Netflix and just start watching whatever they like. And the thing is that their attention is shortening, so it means that immediately when they watch something they don't like, they switch the channel, so they instantly like gratify themselves, and this is depleting their dopamine in the very early age, let alone if you let them like use social media. It's like the worst thing you can do for kids. So in this we are really strict, and this is something which we do not agree with my wife, but I'm telling her, or telling the kids, or I think, is that I rather them to be playing games than like consume what is in the TV, because at least when you play games you are honing your skills, you are it is making you think, and it is like honing your like reflexes and stuff. For example, me, I'm from Slovakia, right? So my English on the school like was not that good when it comes to like learning. So I learned my English literally from Warcraft 3, from computer games, and from World of Warcraft. So I was fortunate enough that when I was 14, I was like, I wouldn't say fluent, because I'm not fluent now, but I was able to not only understand but to speak, because when I was 14 I was already in a raiding guild, and I was actually learning English from British guys. So thanks to computer games, also I'm where I am right now. I am able to talk with you guys, because if I had not learned English, I could not do what I do. And also many things which I learned when it comes to terrain making or miniature sculpting, the tutorials were in English. Like, there are no tutorials in local language. Anyway, what is my beloved chat saying? Do you own lots of rare and expensive Pokemon cards? Tetrahedracon, I can say yes. I'm not saying I own expensive one. For example, I have like a graded PSA 6 Charizard, which I just bought a few months ago. So this is my, I would say, rarest possession. It's a first edition of grade 6 Charizard. And then I have, like, from my personal collection, I have Venusaur, but it's in bad shape, it's not graded, but this is the card which I kept from early age, and I still have it. And then, like a year ago, I somehow hyped my kids to collect Pokemon, so it was just an excuse for me to get into it as well. And we managed to acquire some, like, rare cards from these newer sets. So I have some. Let me just fetch my album. So I'm here, don't worry. Now I don't have a Charizard with me because Charizard is locked in the vault, but as you can see I have some like triple golden stars stuff here which we pulled. And here is the Venusaur. Here is the named Venusaur which I had. It's from the first edition. This is cards which I had as a kid, and this is the Steelix which I also had. And Steelix is actually in a very good condition, so I have a few nice cards. I used to collect Magic the Gathering a lot, and we also played it. And from Magic the Gathering I had Birds of Paradise. Believe it or not, I acquired Birds of Paradise from the first edition as a kid, and I acquired it by a trade as a kid. And back then we didn't know what this card is, or what does it do, or its rarity. But later we found out that I have it in my collection. So as a teenager I was in desperate need of money, so I sold it. I sold it for like almost 20,000 Slovak crowns, which is what? 20,000 is like what, 800 euro? And right now, let me just check it. Oh, Birds of Paradise price, first edition. Yeah, this was the card which I had, right? And I sold it, and it has price something around like 5k. So not that far. Oh, it's actually very far from what I sold it, but well. I love Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is French shaped. Yeah, I like. Actually, Venusaur is my favorite starter from them all. And I played Pokemon on the only generation I didn't play is this very last one, but otherwise I played them all. I just recently stopped playing Pokemon Go. I have a huge collection there as well. A lot of shinies. And what saddens me that when I was like presenting Pokemon to my kids, I was expecting that we hop on this like a hype wagon again, and of course they like it, right? But they are not that like excited about it like we used to be. And it's sad because it's an amazing franchise. Nice, thank you. I forbid collected Pokemon but never got into it. I got more into coins, which are very cool. Yeah, coins are cool. Coins are cool also. For one time I was thinking about collecting like out of production Warhammer models, but it's a really like double-edged sword, because I'm glad that I didn't like go into it for a reason that, for example, I literally was planning to start buying Tomb Kings, like the old out-of-production Tomb Kings, and keep them like in unsealed boxes as rarity items. However, with the release of the Old World, they like start re-releasing them, so they instantly dropped in value quite a lot. So I'm glad I didn't hop into it. but I know for a fact that the Pokemon cards will never like start losing their value. It's gonna only increase. Any recommendation of Blender crash course for making things for 3D printing? Oh, I don't know what to recommend you because I haven't attended anything. I just trial and error learned, and I just was browsing YouTube and watching many videos. So I would gladly recommend you something, but I don't even remember where I watched it. It was just one after another. And I like watching like the sculpting footages, so I learned from there, like observing and repeating. And then what is said that nobody's talking about it, but when it comes to like these alpha brushes which I have, I learned them by complete accident. I was just browsing Google for some really unrelated stuff, and I stumbled across this site called Blender Shop, and I was like, what the fuck is this? What Blender Shop? Blender is free. And then I stumbled upon it, and there were like many pre-sculpted assets, and I was like, what? And then I stumbled upon a section of these alphas, which are basically like pre-made brushes, and I was like, what the hell? You can do this? You have brushes? You don't need to sculpt boils one by one, but you can get a brush which will make boils for you. I'm totally in for it, and that would happen. I bought them. They can be quite expensive. I have a couple €100 already in this, but it's worth every penny. It's a good investment if you are thinking about miniature sculpting. So I do recommend it, because as you can see here, I'm not doing any tedious work and we are having a lot of fun. Right now I'm just talking with you. I'm not thinking about this tree at all. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. All I can tell you that it looks amazing. I really love what we've done. So it's 10:49. We will wrap it up soon, but we're gonna do something. Like, it wouldn't be a nurgle tree without the nurgle assets. Ain't it right, guys? So let's fetch ourselves a bell and chain and delete this horn, and let's decorate it with a nice set of nurgle bells. Because if you Google like this terrain which they did for a nurgle garden, there's this like a few branch tree with this giant gape open mouth, and it had these chain bells on him. So that's what we're gonna decorate it with. And tomorrow morning, when I'm fresh, I'm gonna sculpt a rock base for it, and I'm gonna print it so we have it on Monday. Fingers crossed we're gonna make it. So we have it ready. See, I need to head off, bro. Take it to her later. I love the stream. Thank you, brother, for being here. I always appreciate your presence. We're gonna be ending like in 15 minutes, maybe. But not before I will show you what we sculpted in a nice like preview. If you have guys any suggestions, keep them coming. I love these Fridays. I mean, I enjoy every single second with you guys. You're amazing. Okay, just we have these two. Maybe one with longer chain could do. The holy bell. Yeah. A beautiful tree. Nurgle will agree. Well, I hope he will do. And as a thanks, I hope he will spare me from one of his gifts. If you know what I mean. Okay, a few are here. On another variation of this tree, I can see some hanged being, like hanging from the branches. Maybe some fucking scaven. Next week I'm starting Skaven set. Another huge fantasy set which I will do is the Skaven one, and along with the set I have also a request to sculpt these like some awesome looking Skaven abomination. So that's what we're gonna do definitely on the next stream, like next sculpting stream. So Fridays officially are sculpt days. Every Friday it's a sculpting stream. And this is something which I will look forward. Alright. We have still time, so maybe do the base. Okay. Why not? Let's save it. Add a UV sphere right here. Imagine a tiny monster sitting next to it, like cleaning his blade. Yeah! He's gonna be as big as... I have a lot of pre-cut these 100mm bases, such as like what we built, so he will be on a similar base, so he will be probably as big as this, like a Blake Giant. So yeah, we're gonna be printing him kind of big. And this needs to be a bit bigger, this ball. I know we are supposed to sculpt more of these things, but you see it took more time than we anticipated, right? Okay, let's subdivide, or not now. Not now. Oh yeah, we'll do it. So we're gonna subdivide this ball into at least something which is... no, that's too much. Freeze the charm. Image time, okay. Okay, let's turn on the subdivision. That's too much for this tiny ball. So let's choose... oh yeah, I see! You don't see behind my face. Okay. Behind my camera there is like this column where I'm choosing the subdivision. It's the little no, sorry, subdivision. Damn, I'm too tired. It's dynamic topology button, and it's in shortcut din topo. So once you toggle it off, you will set the value of how much it will subdivide, and then it's gonna proceed with doing it. So now you might be asking what the fuck I'm doing, right? I'm creating a rock base for it, so I just need to make sure that these branches are not obscured by it. Okay, let's see how much is it obscured. No, this can be like this. And I have some nice... you will see how fast I will do the rock. You will be like looking at how fast this is done with pre-made brushes. Right now I'm thinking that we should, like, the corpus of the tree, we should be done already. We should download it from the Genie Discord. At least we have these low poly corpus, and that's what we're gonna do next time. I will show you something magical with the power of AI. So there's this tool called Genie. It's a Discord app, and based on your text input, it will create you a shitty looking low poly model, and it's very good for just the basic shape, so you don't have to like go and spend minutes with creating corpus, for example, of this tree. Okay, something like this. Okay, now this is flying. No worries, stay with me, it's gonna be fun. You will see what I'm doing. Okay. Okay. Something like this. What happened? I hate when this happens. Alright, let's smooth this out a bit. Okay, so we have something like this, and let's make it rocky. It's a camouflage made of multiple colors. When the tiny monster sitting just picking his nose. I have a question for you, Maho. For a model, I kind of want to get an airbrush, but it's expensive. Do you know any other alternative? Well, yeah, you can try this like small airbrush, which I was showing in the last stream. So you can get it from Temu or AliExpress. It's a good alternative, at least for priming and for doing like this basic shape. So basically this is like a tiny compressor. It's USB-C, and you are just one click turning it on and off. And it's good at least for priming, varnishing, and all these like non-precision requiring tasks. So try to check it out. Okay, let's go into rock. And this is a nice brush for rocks. So voila. Voila. And now we have even different types of brushes, no worries. I'm not gonna show you them all, or at least those good ones. Something like this, maybe this. So we now have a pretty basic looking rock shapes, and now we can play with further shapes. For example, this one. This is creating a nice rock faces. And guys, I'm thinking Sundays will be an extra streaming day, and we're gonna be making the gaming stream, so we're gonna play some nice games together. So Doom, for example, when it comes out, definitely Space Marine 2 and others, and it's gonna be fun. Okay, for now let's try a different one, maybe. Sorry if I'm mumbling, but I'm freaking tired. I do apologize. But we need to finish this. Okay, and now let's fetch some smaller like stones, so we create gravel here and there. And also tomorrow or next time I will decorate the base with skulls and some nurgly things and mushrooms. But it's too late for that now. Let's see, for example, this one. I know that once we print it, of course, I will decorate it further with like extra gravel, with like a normal sand, but at least this has some kind of shape. Like this here. Okay. This should do it. Now we see the tree growing out of the little planet. Let's cut it in half. First, I'm gonna make this smaller. And I'm gonna make this bigger. And we're gonna be cutting this base of on this tree, honestly, but the fake or not enough powerful. Thanks, Maho. Well, they are not powerful, but I tried priming, and on the last stream, on the last painting stream, we tried to put the base coat with one contrast color, and it ran a good few minutes before it clogged, so I still consider it as like partial success. And for the 30 bucks, it's fine, I would say. So let's round up this base. Let me just put the subdivision filter here. And stay with me, guys. Even though it's 11, we're still not done. Give me a few more minutes. I just need another moment. Do you know from where this line was? Whoever gets it right will have this model for free. So take a guess from which franchise, from which cinematic this was. I just need another moment. And ventilated area gloves protect the poles, brother. That's true. Yeah, even though the acrylics are not that harmful, it's still highly recommend to use gloves. But if you're gonna paint with oils, definitely use the gloves. And when you're working with 3D printer, definitely use the gloves. Alright, now let's go back to rocks and start enhanced like this. Alright, now a few more rocks on the sides and we're done. I'll cut it in half then and we're done. So we can fetch these. No, that's too big. These ones will be nice. Now, fingers crossed it's gonna be cut properly, because sometimes Blender is giving an attitude. But yeah, why not? Let's have hope, brothers. Boolean. Work. Yes! Good. Now let's save this beauty boy and let's watch the grand reveal. A lot of them are for beauty stuff. Do they work with the paint too? Yeah, you can load the paint if you thin it enough, but the pressure is too low, so it will speckle. So that's why I recommend them only for a how to call it? For the priming and for the how to say, varnishing and just the basic contrast paint stuff. Oh, here it is. So yeah, this is what we made today. Whew. Whoa. It was way more work than I anticipated at first, but I'm happy how this turned out. Fresh for printing. Well, it requires some adjustments, but will be done. Well, you don't need to invest in like the $300 Infinity airbrush. You can get the basic kit with compressor for as much as like €120, and with that you can like do a solid chunk of work. And later, if you fell in love with airbrush and learn how to do it, you can invest in the more expensive one. Louis, looks great. Thank you very much. Looks very good, beautiful, brother Nurgles. Please, thank you very much. The question was pretty fast, but that looks tedious. I never did any of that. Well, this is where the pre-purchased and made brushes come handy. By the way, look what my beloved daughter made me for the Father's Day. It's like the thing underneath the cups, and I absolutely love it. It works like a charm. At least I'm not doing these water circles from the cup circles, or how we call it. In towers, that is incredible. So much talent now. Well, thank you very much. So I'm waiting. I can't wait for it to be printed. When we print it and paint it, so there is like a finger tree. Now, when I look at it, I could maybe make it more sturdier in the trunk. So maybe the next variation, do such that. And once I'm done with it, of course, it will be posted on my Patreon, so you can download it for a like, very, very cheap price, and you can get all my models there. Starting as I really need it. I want to thank you, Mom, and Chicken Ator. Well, no problem, brother. I gladly help you with anything when it comes to wargaming. I gladly shared with you my knowledge. It's an honor to teach you guys. What about the tree with faces in it? That's a good one. We will do it. But not with the tree, but with a giant mushroom. So we need this general. So one of his abilities is how he defeats his enemies. That he will just throw magical spores, which you have in his back cauldron. And his poor victim will start transforming himself into this nasty looking mushroom, and he will like grow a face. So this is what we will sculpt next time. And we may attach also some faces on other variation of tree. It's no problem. I don't see a problem in it. What paint does an airbrush use? You can like predominantly acrylic ones. The key is to thin it properly, like to very thin consistency, so it don't clog. And you can check tutorials on YouTube. Even Squidman, I believe he had like a tutorial, and I will do a tutorial how I do airbrushing from my experience, so that will come handy. I'm trying to figure out still how to stream from my big studio, because there I have connection problem. The thing is that local internet provider refused to like put their internet infrastructure there, so I'm relying only on my phone data, and phone data are very bad for streaming in HD. However, once I figure it out, I'll buy another computer there, and we'll be able to live stream also some heavy duty stuff, so foam work, priming and such things. Yeah, so hopefully in the near future. So I can use acrylic print and mix it with a thinner. Yeah, exactly. And I recommend you to use my recipe for a thinner, which is, rewind this video or write it down right now. So it's like you have a big bottle like this, right, which is filled in two. You will mark it, basically you will divide it into 3 parts, and 2/3, so 1 and 2, will be filled with distilled water. 1/3, the remaining third, will be filled with isopropyl alcohol, and you will grab like a syringe and load 10 milliliters of glycerin. You can buy it in a fish shop. It's a product used in many things, especially in cosmetics, but fish shop sells them because it's like a ingredient to a fish bait. So you can buy it for €6. Big bottle, it will last your grandkids. You will never like waste it all. So for €6 you have a big bottle, load 10 milliliters with syringe and blast it to this concoction, then mix it, and you have the best thinner in the world, basically, for a penny. And yeah, it's the best thinner you can make. It's way better than anything from the shops. You don't need to spend a coin for the expensive acrylic thinners. This is the best one you can use. Alright guys, so that concludes our stream. Thank you very much everyone who've been here. I, as usual, enjoyed it very much. And let me write it to the chat right now before I go. So the recipe for thinner, oh wait, so 2, 3, and that's your thinner. Have a great weekend. It was awesome. Thank you, Louis. Thank you everyone again for being here. I enjoy it. I love you guys. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Bye. See you on Monday. I hope everyone will make it. We're gonna be doing something fun. So guys, good night. Thank you.